What's up, Godzilla fans? Samson West here, and I'm going to bring you my next Godzilla figure review. So, seeing as how I finished all my Godzilla G-Fest figure reviews, I'm going to get started on the stuff I already have. I'm going to do a really rare one today, one that I haven't seen too much on the internet, and when I have seen it, it's been done by kids, so it hasn't been done that well. So, sorry kids, I got to do this. I have the Y-MSF Varan. And he's great for what he is. This is actually the 1968 Destroy All Monsters version of Varan. It says so on the bottom of the tail. It says Y-MSF made in blah 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 2004/1968. So that's when it was made. And that's what it represents. So, I can't do that much about history. I'm sorry. I didn't see the original Varan, and there's not much to say about Destroy All Monsters. You know, I mean, he was in two small scenes in Destroy All Monsters, when all the monsters came, like, charging on the Keylock base, and the very end scene where they, like, were scanning over Monster Island showing all the monsters. So, sorry guys, I can't do that great of history. But I'm going to talk about detail. I can do that, because I have the figure here, and that's obvious. I can talk about detail. So, let's zoom in on this sucker. Now, as you see what I zoomed in on, you have the very nicely done spikes. These are very sharp. They're all very well done. And they're individually made, so they all have their own unique little look. And they go from the tip of the head, or like the tip of the top of the head, all the way down to almost the end of the tail. So there's the end of the tail, there's the last spike. So yeah, that's cool, and I like the way the face looks. He's kind of, being as he's like a flying squirrel monster, he has like a squirrely looking face. Really stubby nose, I don't know, maybe a nose, whatever. And very good teeth. I like how the teeth are done. They're very sharp, very tiny. That's very unique detail. And the eyes could have been done a little better. If you see, the eye is just a solid glossy black. It could have been better. They could have done white and then the black pupil, but I'm not complaining. This is a great figure all around. And you have the very well sculpted webbing in between the feet. It's on both sides of the monster, obviously. And you have the claws. That's very well done on both hands. You have the back feet. They're put in a kind of squatted position, and that's just really cool. And the skin texture, you look at that. It's kind of like a paper mache, kind of dirty, I don't know, it's just kind of weird looking. But then again, that's how the 1968 Varan looked. He didn't have the separate back plate that separated his back from the body like in the original Varan movie. He has just a solid body. So, anyway, yeah, detail, very good. Now, articulation, I can do a little bit. There's not much to it. Now, the tail does spin all the way around. Alright, that's good. I got a start. I may not be able to do it all. Yep, I got it. Alright, tail spins all the way around. I was having a little trouble because these spikes are very sharp and they will prick you and it hurts. And now the back 2 feet, they do spin 360 also, but they kind of stop because they're not perfectly rounded to kind of spin smoothly. You got to kind of force it. And if you force it too much, it pops out of place. So as you see there, this is not like a smooth, round groove, just like the inside of the slot. So you got to stick this back in, kind of force it, and then it snaps back in. And both feet do that, you know, spin all the way around. You got to force it in order for it to spin right. As for the 2 front feet, there is a glue seal. But do not break that, ladies and gentlemen, because if you do, it's not going to spin. It's just a glue slot. It's like a little nub, and then there's a hole on the bottom half of the legs, and like I said, a nub on the top half, and it just kind of slides on and glues on. That's what that is. Do not break the 2 front legs. It will not spin. And that's it for poseability, articulation, whatever you want to call it. Now, I'm going to do sizing. Everybody loves to see sizing. That's what you're here for, right? Right. Now, being as this is the 1968 Varan, I'm going to compare him to the 1968 Godzilla. You saw this in my first video. It's 1968 Godzilla. And I'd say sizing here is good. It's not perfect because Varan was a rather small monster. So he's kind of equal in size to Godzilla here. So I'm going to say it works, but it's not perfect. It's a little oversized for Varan compared to the 1968 Godzilla. He may size up with the Bandai Creations 1968 Godzilla, but I'm not going to walk all the way across the room to go get him. So, yeah, that's that. Now I'm going to show you something else. So, yeah, 1968 Varan, now I'm going to compare him with the monsters that he stood in the background and didn't do anything with during the battle against King Ghidorah. Here is the Bandai Baragon and my Y-MSF Manda. This is very well done. I like this a lot. Well, the Baragon not so much. He's a little oversized, but then again, who cares? This is the Bandai Baragon. You can't complain if you have this thing. I mean, would you? No. So, yeah, this sizes up okay. Manda, good. Baragon, not so much, but who cares? And, yeah, these are the monsters that he sat in the background and didn't do anything with. So, yeah. Okay, if you want to see kind of a fantasy comparison, originally Varan was going to be in the 2002 Godzilla movie, Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All Out Attack. But seeing as how history goes, it was Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, not Godzilla, Baragon, Varan, and Anguirus. So, yeah. Alright, I'm going to probably have to move my camera up, but let me put the monster in here first. Here is the 2002 GMK Godzilla. He is a little too big, so let me scoot that up. Okay, this is really oversized, but it's okay because this isn't supposed to be like real sizing. It's just kind of a fantasy sizing. And this is what it would be like if Godzilla was stomping down on Varan instead of on Baragon. Kind of funny, I think. So there's that, and like I said, this is a fantasy thing, so there's Godzilla, Varan, Anguirus, and Baragon. Now, this, I don't know how well this all works. This is really kind of, they're all kind of their own different sizes, so, you know, we got the Final Wars Anguirus, the GMK Baragon, GMK Godzilla, and the Y-MSF Varan. So this is, like I said, this is just kind of a fantasy size comparison. It doesn't really work out that great, but it does, it's whatever. You just take it as you will. Put him back. Put the camera back down. Okay. So there you go, fellas, and ladies, whoever watches this. That's about it for this review. I don't have any more to say. If I could give this guy a score, I would say a good 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 only being because poseability, not that great. He's kind of a statue figure. He just sits in one position and that's it. And sizing, not that great either because he's a little overscaled or underscaled depending on who you compare him to. But detail is magnificent on this guy. You can't get anything better than what you have here. So that's the end of my review. Thanks, you guys.